Four Downs with Rich.
Here we go. What did you say?
First down.
First down, I'm going to give you all a heads up. It's coming, and it's going to come Thursday night. And it's going to come Thursday night maybe on the first pass from Tom Brady. Because all Tom Brady needs is 18 yards. 18 yards to become the second most prolific passer in the history of the National Football League. He passed Brett Favre for third place all time, and he is 17 yards behind Peyton Manning. Why do I bring this up? Because that would mean that the all-time passing list would be topped 1 and 2 by active players. It's been a long time since that last happened. The last time that happened was in 1994. Pardon me, 1998. I should put my glasses on. 1998, when Marino and John Elway were 1 and 2 on the list in back-to-back years. It is rare because the time before that, these are the only times since that's in the Super Bowl era where the passing list is topped by 2 active players. It was Marino and Elway in 97 and 98, and Johnny Unitas and Fran Tarkington in 1973.
Whoa.
This is like seeing, an eclipse, essentially, in terms of milestones in the National Football League. Brees and Brady are going to be 1-2 atop the passing list. Again, 1998 was the last time the passing list had 1 and 2 being active players, and all it takes is one single pass of 18 yards by Tom Brady to make it happen.
And by the way, adding to that, Dan Marino now sits 5th. John Elway now 9th.
It's coming, right? It is all coming. It's a passing league right now. All right, that's first down. Here's second down. Second down, we talk about who's the best running back in the National Football League. You asked me this yesterday in Overreaction Monday, and I'm going to bring it a second down right here. I know Kamara's terrific, and I know Zeke's terrific, and there's nobody like Christian McCaffrey right now.
Not right now.
And the amazing thing is when he was drafted out of Stanford, he was one of those specialists, right? He was supposed to be a third down back that would create a matchup problem. He's certainly not going to be out there
between the tackles. That was the whole thing, yeah.
He certainly wasn't going to be the bell cow guy. He certainly wasn't going to be a guy that would hit you in the mouth. He'd be a guy that tried to outrun you, and certainly he would be better in the passing game than in a running game. No, sir. He is the best in the NFL right now, without a doubt. 4th player in the Super Bowl era to have 5 or more games with a rushing and receiving touchdowns in his first 3 seasons. The others are named Alvin Kamara, who I know is in this mix, but not right now in terms of 2019. Edgerrin James and Chuck Foreman. And in terms of his scrimmage yards in the first 5 games of this season, it's the second most scrimmage yards in the first 5 games of a season since 1950. The only one with more scrimmage yards in the first 5 games of a season in that span is named Jim Brown with 988 scrimmage yards in 1963. That's how good Christian McCaffrey is. And personally, I am very excited to be calling one of his football games on Sunday morning on NFL Network. Kickoff 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. So wake up early out here on the West Coast. We'll be out there 4 men in a booth for Panthers and Bucks. That's second down. Here's third down.
Third down.
Okay. You know who's going to be affecting the National Football League in December? I think maybe even in November. We'll get to that in a second. Do you know why I think it's going to be affecting the National Football League and how a team might prepare for a draft and who they're evaluating?
Who's that?
His name is Lincoln Riley.
Sure is.
Because not only is what Lincoln Riley doing in Oklahoma is radically changing the way that people might draft people and how they can be utilized in the NFL as the college game is being brought more and more to the NFL week in and week out. But Lincoln Riley is going to have an absurd number of choices this year. One of them, obviously, is to stay in Oklahoma.
Right.
Another one is Washington, D.C. has fired their coach. If you don't think that Lincoln Riley was going to get a phone call or a tire kick from Dan Snyder and his group, who, if they think that Dwayne Haskins is the quarterback of the future there, who would be better to bring a style of play to get the most out of Dwayne Haskins? Lincoln Riley. If you have the number 1 overall selection in, say, Washington or Miami, What about the Jets? What about the Jets and maybe one and doneing their head coach if it goes completely south? Because once Lincoln Riley is in play, it's going to change a lot of people's mindsets about this guy is a unicorn coming out of college. We better get on him. And it's going to start affecting the minds of some head coaches as they go about their business, and certainly the minds of some owners in the NFL. What if, let's just say, the Dallas Cowboys get one and done in the playoffs, or even two and done in the playoffs?
Or don't make it.
Or, well, they're going to make it. I'm not going to go for the hot take. That's a hot take plank situation right there. They're way too talented. Barring injury, they're making the playoffs. They're one of the best 6 teams in the NFC. And when it all comes down to it, Jason Garrett does not have a contract. Who would be brought in to try and help things out with Dak? You don't think Texas Longhorn fans who love the Dallas Cowboys would suddenly go ahead and say, get Lincoln Riley? I mean, the number of teams that will have the opportunity to maybe get this guy, it's going to be chum in the coaching waters. He is going to have, I don't think I even gone through all the choices. What if, let's just continue
Keep
this
going.
whole thing out.
Cleveland Browns.
What if the Browns do not perform well at all, and you're sitting there and you're the Haslams, and you're John Dorsey? Why not, if he's in play, again, if he is in play, if he's getting calls and he's beginning to think, and you hear, Lincoln Riley's thinking about it, why not get Baker's college coach and bring him to Cleveland and hook him up for the next 10 years? Why wouldn't you attempt to do that, with all due respect to Freddie Kitchens? 4th down.
Oh, yes.
4th
Mike,
down.
you know what time it is. Now, you
He's
teased a hot take here, so I'm
Got the
curious where
point.
you're going.
Well, I'm gonna piggyback off of 3rd down.
Okay.
And say that not one but 2 more NFL head coaches are gonna get the axe during the playing season.
Wow.
Lincoln Riley is in play. Washington has already gotten a leg up. And I know that there's a rumor about Tomlin from Lock and 4 that Mike Tomlin actually addressed.
He addressed it. Yeah, he
All
was
right,
asked about it today.
We'll get to that in your news. But at some point, this guy, because what he's done with quarterback after quarterback after quarterback, seeing what Kyler Murray's doing in the NFL. And I know that Baker is struggling right now, but we'll see what Jalen Hurts is going to be up for the Heisman Trophy. This guy's going to be so red hot. Let me throw this one out at you, too. If you're going to force me to go total hot take and give you the names, if Atlanta does not perform well over the next 4 to 6 weeks, I could see Arthur Blank getting out early. Why not bring Lincoln Riley? And all you're hearing about is how great Kyle Shanahan coordinates. Why not bring in your own brilliant young mind? Bring Lincoln Riley to Atlanta. And again, if I have to choose another one, I mean, what's gone on with Adam Gase over the first 6 months has been nothing but weird. Nothing but weird in terms of having him in and then bouncing a general manager after letting him draft, and Adam Gase is the interim general manager. And I know that it's not his fault that somebody catches mononucleosis, but to give all the snaps to a guy with an iffy spleen all last week before going into Philadelphia, and he says that he gave Luke Falk enough snaps in practice last week. It didn't look like that. You're already hearing the sharks in the water there in New York City.
Wow.
And what are you going to do with Sam Darnold, man? Lincoln Riley is out there, and a bunch of teams are going to try and get the early jump on it. That's my 4th down.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live, or download the Rich Eisen Show app.